Welcome to a special edition of Last World Boxing. This video is covering the Boxer of 2024. Now, this will be a very short response from me, so I'm going to hand it over to Darren first. So, Darren, give us your runners and riders for who you think is the best boxer of 2024.
Well, I mean, I know who you're picking, but for me, he beat an average heavyweight twice. So I'm not going to pick him. You know how I feel about Naoya Inoue. I love him. I think he's the best fighter in the world. But I'm not going to pick Inoue either. I'm going to pick another guy who only fought twice, but I'm going to pick him on a bit of a level of competition. He dismantled Callum Smith, and then he found a way to beat Dimitri Bivol. Two high-level fighters, and even if you're going to just class Bivol, and forsake Callum Smith, then he deserves it on that alone, because Dimitri Bivol is elite, one of the best light heavyweights ever.
Agreed.
And Beterbiev found a way, stuck to a plan, and came out on top. So for me, it's Dimitri Bivol. For Beterbiev.
Where do you put Callum Smith in that light heavyweight division, Daz?
I think we can only judge after Buatsi fight, to be fair.
Fight.
I think it's a lot more clear. It's a lot more clear after he's fought Buatsi. I mean, when he fought Beterbiev, we're just a bit of a masterclass from Beterbiev, really. And no one's ever dealt with Callum Smith like that. So to me, that was a big statement as well. To beat Callum like that and then to beat Bivol.
Yard gave him a run though, didn't it?
Yeah. Obviously Yard's a different fighter to Callum. But yeah, Yard put up a fight, but I think Beterbiev has just got that steel in him that, yeah, and he just knows that I'm going to outlast you. Frightening, man. I mean, you saw it with Bivol. Bivol rocked back foot.
Do you have Bivol? Do you have Beterbiev beating him in the rematch? Can go in Bivol.
Yeah, mate, I don't see what Bivol can do.
I think he puts his foot down in them championship rounds a bit more, if he can, if he's good enough.
Yeah, it could do, but I think if he chooses to stand with Beterbiev a bit more, be a bit less back foot, I mean, it could get stopped.
That first fight though, right? Close.
Oh yeah, we're close. Yeah, I mean, by no means it were a war, an easy fight. Yeah, we're close. I think I had Beterbiev by a couple, I think, but I think you notice the difference in punching power when Beterbiev landed.
It was very interesting body language at the end of that fight, though, because the Beterbiev team didn't look particularly happy when they went to the judges, did they?
I think they knew it were close. And I think Bivol knew it were close, and I think they both looked at each other as if to say, well, we know we're going to do it again, no matter who's won. So, and I think Bivol handled himself greatly in that as well, because Bivol 41.
I did, to be honest.
Yeah, I had Beterbiev by
again, what you like fight, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't have argued either.
So I've gone for Usyk, and the reason I've gone for Usyk is because he's made Tyson Fury was calling himself not only the greatest of this era, but he was calling himself a generational great. And a lot of people have brought into it, Daz, right?
Yeah, mate.
The way Usyk, I don't want to say dismantled him because that's too strong, but I think they can fight 100 times now. And this is me changing my mind. I've gone on record saying I thought Fury's too big. Fury hasn't got the ability to beat him now. But now, whether he's slowed up a little bit, Father Time's caught up with him, or whether he's made too much money, And also, the way Usyk handles himself outside of the ring, I think is a great role model for the sport as well. So that's the reason why I would give Usyk Boxer 2024. But I don't often do this, Daz. I am close to changing my mind to Beterbiev. And that's a bit unheard of for me, really. But I can see where you're coming from regarding Beterbiev. Because again, to beat Bivol, never mind beating Callum Smith, but to beat Bivol is an accomplishment on its own, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, Usyk, like you said, Usyk's, probably one of the best role models, how to carry yourself as a fighter. But we've got to sort of think that, there were two close fights. I mean, I actually rewatched the second fight, and I actually had Fury winning by a couple of rounds. And on the night, I had Usyk by two. Yeah, so immensely close. I just think that people need, like we've said before, people need to calm down a bit with him. He's exceptional. He's very good, but he's not had anyone to. And let's be fair, he's been it. He's been caught. He's not. People do talk about his defense, and he's got a good defense, but he's not impregnable. Do you know what I mean? He shows signs sometimes, and there'll always be that question mark with that Dubois body shot for me. I'll always think, did that hurt you, and did you go down, and then did you try it on and say it was low? There's always that question mark.
Here's a question, guys. Would the version of Tyson Fury who dethroned Klitschko beat Usyk? Totally different fighter, right? Before the
Yeah, I mean, he would jab and move, weren't he? Would he have fought Usyk like that? Because I think he were wary of Klitschko's power. So, he were going to keep away from it. I think Fury that fought Klitschko, if he fought Usyk that way, he probably would have won. Probably would have got a point to him. In a boring fight, he'd have probably kept away from him. But then would he have had the respect for Usyk that Usyk's power that he had for Klitschko?
We never know, but it's a good question, isn't it? It's a very good question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, you could say, would he have? What I would have found interesting is that version of Fury fighting Vitali.
Different beast.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that version v Vitali. Yeah. That would have been, because I think Vitali were like a Terminator.
Do you think Usyk's a top Ukrainian fighter ever, or do you put Klitschko's above him? Close one.
Yeah, I mean,
we can't penalise him for his era, can we? He's not his fault.
No. You've got to chuck Lomachenko in as well. To be fair, you've got to mention Lomachenko in Ukrainians. I mean, on achievements, he's been unified, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight. So maybe, you on achievements, you'd have to say he's achieved more. Would he have beaten Vlad and Vitali?
In a strange kind of way, I'd give Vitali a better chance than Vlad. I think Vitali was an animal who would have just marched him down.
You see, Vlad, to be fair, Vlad would have kept him on end at jab and walked him onto a right hand. And Fury in spots the other week was using that jab and forcing Usyk to rush in. I mean, you do that v Vlad and you walk onto that right hand and you're waking up in 2026. But Vitali, I think Vitali would have just looked at him and gone, I'm just going to smash you to bits. I think that's what Lennox would have done as well, and all the big guys.
It wasn't lost on me the wry smile that Lennox Lewis had on his face sat at ringside.
Yeah, he were. Listen, make no mistake, Lennox would have been looking at Vlad and all and going, battered you and all. you know. But he got out at the right time. You know, Vitali gave him hell.
Yeah.
I mean, he nearly decapitated Vitali with an uppercut and didn't even look like dropping him.
Vitali with the piece.
You know, yeah, slashed him to bits and got the win and thought, do you know what?
Yeah.
This isn't for me anymore.
Okay, so boxer of 2024 then, Dad. Last bowl boxer of 2024. I think Better Be have deserved it then, mate. So I'll change my mind. I think Better.
Oh, that's the first.
Agree, disagree. You'll never hear me say that again all year. Post your comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.